Hello everyone, I am Md.Sadikul Islam, Assistant Teacher, Durgapur Government Pilot Model High School. Today we are discussing Class 9 English First Paper, Unit 1 Lesson 1 and 2. Let's get started. Good morning, student. How are you today? I think you are well. I am going to start first paper English class 9. At the beginning we will discuss about good citizen. Unit 1, Lesson 1. We know citizen means a people by a man who live in a country for a long time. He has a permanent settlement and pay his taxes regularly and abide by the rules and regulation of the country. It is called citizen, I think. Now today we will discuss lesson 1. We have already discussed about it. You know, no man can live alone. So here is the title of the lesson, Can you live alone? Can you live alone? Here we know a person tried to live alone and went to a forest to live by himself. But it was quite impossible for him to live alone because man cannot live alone. We are social beings, so we cannot live alone. We need help of others. However, then at last he has to come back to his own residence and he has to live in the family again. Now today we will discuss about knowledge, skill and attitude. This is also the terms and conditions for a good citizen. Knowledge, skill and attitude. Lesson 2. I will discuss lesson 2 here. Unit 1, Lesson 2. Good citizen. Good citizens. Here from this passage student will learn how to narrate incident, learning outcomes. Number 1, narrate incidents. Number 2, participate in discussion. Number 3, listen to and understand others. Listen to and understand others. Understand others. others. Number 4, describe something in writing. These are the learning outcomes. If we read these passages, we can learn how to narrate incident. We can participate in discussion, in various discussion. We can listen to and understand others and their opinions and describe something in writing. This is all. Now, the main title of the lesson is knowledge skills and attitudes. These are the traits. This is our main purpose, says to learn this, to learn these things. We have to read this passage. Now, you see, our lesson good citizens. How we can be a good citizen. How we can be a good citizen. There are some traits or characteristics, good characteristics need to be a good citizen. At first we will read out the lesson, then we will understand what are the traits we need to be a good citizen. To be a good citizen, you have to prepare yourself to do good work in society. If you want to be a good citizen, you have to do something for the betterment of the society. Well, then how you can prepare yourself? Before doing that, you have to be prepared. Otherwise, you cannot do that. First, you need knowledge. This is the first and foremost element. Knowledge, without which you cannot do anything. A man cannot do anything properly. But the person who has knowledge can do anything properly, exactly, correctly. You need knowledge. Today's society is knowledge based. Without having knowledge of modern science technologies, including ICT and other necessary subjects, you will have difficulty living a good life. If you do not have these things, if you do not have this knowledge about this thing, you cannot live, or you cannot live well. Because if you have lack of this thing, you cannot do anything properly. The other areas you, as a good citizen, should have knowledge about are not only this, we have to know a lot of things, like our country, its constitution. We have to know our country, where we live in, and the constitution by which our country is governed. Geography and people. What sort of people and what types of geography. Our state, we have to know about our state, its executive and legislative power, lawmaking power, Yes, our judicial system, what are the judicial system of our country? Our government and its structure and function. We have to also know our government, whether it is parliamentary form of government or presidential form of government, or the structure and function. What is their function? What are their function? We have to know it. Then our history of our country, cultures, tradition, literature, moral values and religions. Our socio-economic activities and educational system. All we should have idea. We should have idea. Otherwise, we cannot be a good citizen. Secondly, you need skill to do things. We have acquired this knowledge, but we do not know how to use them in practically. So, we need a skill to do these things. Knowledge is not enough. A man can have good knowledge about anything, but if he does not know to utilize it in practical field, it will be fruitless. It will be fruitless. You must be able to apply your knowledge to the things practically. Okay. Finally, knowing and doing things will bring about a change in your behavior towards others. We know a thing and we do accordingly. If we do accordingly, it will bring about a change in our behavior. It will bring about behavioral change in us. Amader maje ki anbe poriborton anbe. This behavioral change will show your attitude toward others, and it will teach us how to behave with others. It will show how you think and feel about person or things, and it will make us think about a person or things. Let's take an example. Suppose you as a student need to know about group work in the classroom. What is a group work? At first we have to know what is a good group work. A class is divided into different groups, and a teacher will give them different tasks to do or to perform. You will ask yourself or your teacher and anyone else, what is a group work? This is how. Or you may find about it in a book. In this way, you may know or you may have the knowledge about good work. To do group work, the class has to divide it into groups. That I have already mentioned about it. Each group is to do some task given by the teacher or in the textbook. The group members will discuss and share ideas and points, and finally one member will write the answer from the group, from each group. Then you start working in groups. In each group you take turns discussing points and answering questions. In this way you can actually do the task. Your teacher may monitor and help you to do the work. While you are doing the work, your teacher will monitor. Your teacher may monitor, or teacher will monitor and help you. If you do any wrong, he will help you to correct. Or if you are right, he will give you thanks. Lastly, through regular group work, it is expected that there will be noticeable change in your behavior. If you do this work regularly, you will see ultimately you have already been changed by this work, because you will see some change in you. Possible change are you will develop the skill of speaking freely. While you are doing this, you have to exchange your views and ideas with your friends, among your friends, and this is how you will increase your vocabulary and skill of speaking freely in English with your classmate and with your teachers. Then this is how, if you talk together, if you talk to your teacher, you will see that your shyness will disappear. Shyness will disappear, gradually disappear. Shyness. You will develop the attitude of helping and cooperating with each other. And this is the process through which you can work by cooperating with each other. You will learn to behave in a democratic way. Democratic way means majority must be granted. You will make a decision. A decision will be granted by majority. Most importantly, this behavioral change things place in you inside a classroom will be carried over outside the classroom in real life situation. You have learned this in the classroom and you will carry over outside the classroom, and this behavioral change will help you to mix with others, with the people of the society. This is all. Now, perhaps you have understood about the passage, and I will take down some alternative question. Here you see. Have a look on the whiteboard, please. Number 1. Choose the correct answer from the alternatives. Number 1, we have learned many things here from this passage, and now we'll ask you some question. What is the closest meaning of the word knowledge? Sign of interrogation. Alternative answer, you have to guess or find out the correct one. A, learning. B, know. C, enforce. D, items. Number 2, how is today's society? Today's society. Number 1, money based. B, power based. C, knowledge based. D, automatic based. Number 3, group work makes a person. Group work makes a person A number cooperative, B non-cooperative, number C extrovert, introvert, number D coward. Yes. Number 4, who may supervise the group work? Who may supervise the group work? We know number 1, student and teacher, B headmaster, number C the student, D teacher. This is how we'll give 7 questions. Then we have to find out the correct answer from this alternative. First, what is the closest meaning of the word knowledge? Knowledge, the word derived from know. Derived from know. Then know. How is today's society? Knowledge-based society. Group work makes a person cooperative. Who may supervise the group work? Teacher. This is how we'll put tick. Then we'll ask you open-ended question on the passage. Here from the passage we'll ask you some question and you will prepare answer the following question. Number 2, answer the following question. A, how can you lead a good life? How can you lead a good life? B, what is meant by behavioral change? What is meant by behavioral change? আচরণিক পরিবর্তন। নাম্বার 4. What is the result? What is the result of group work? Number D. What should you know? What should you know to be a good citizen? Number E. What are the function and group of a group work? What are the functions of a group work? These are the question on the passage. We have already guessed about the answer of the question. How can you lead a good life? If you want to lead a good life, you need certain traits. You have to be a good citizen. You have to cooperate with your neighbors. You have to help your neighbors. You will get help from your neighbors. You have to behave with good. You have to behave good with your friends, neighbors, and country people. What is meant by behavioral change? Behavioral change means change which take place in our behavior during our life, while we are talking, doing anything. What is the result of group work? Here, student can exchange their views and ideas among themselves. They can form group and discuss cooperatively among themselves. One can help each other. What should you know to be a good citizen? To be a good citizen, we need certain qualities, certain characteristics, good characteristics, if we want to be a good citizen. Those are mentioned here in the passage. What are the function of a group work? In a group work, some tasks are given among the student by the teacher, and the student will form group 4 or 5 or 8 student will form groups, and they will discuss the task or work together, and they will find out the correct answer, and one of them will write the correct answer. This is the group work. These are the functions of group work. Thank you very much. This is all today.